It's a typical day in Chicago. We go about our routines. But here, there's a crisis going on with underserved children. It's a crisis that will impact generations to come. But there is hope. And the seeds of that hope were planted 25 years ago. It's the early 1990s. Pat Ryan is a recent Georgetown grad and teacher on Chicago's tough West Side. Later, he would become a narcotics officer. It's a life-defining experience that would set him on a mission to change the trajectory of education leadership, not just in Chicago, but on a national scale.
It was a thrilling time to be part of this organization that was just getting off the ground.
One of the reasons why I chose Inner City Teaching Corps over other programs was one of the tenets of it is you live in the community you serve.
But the education establishment hated it. All great teaching in their mind came out of teaching colleges, 4-year certification programs, and anything else was like medical experiments on children. We were under threat. They wanted to shut us down. So we created the first teacher certification program because without creating our own version of teacher certification, they would have put us out of business. And we're proud that groups like Teach for America and Teach for Chicago and the Chicago Teaching Fellows all were able to come into Chicago because of that initial certification program getting passed into law.
He at the same time was starting a Lane Lock Charter School when I was in the program, so we talked a lot about his successes and the things that he was learning, starting a school.
A Lane Lock Charter School in Chicago's Garfield Park was founded in 1999. Its mission to give underserved students access to a better education. The intent is good and the rationale sound, but the early days of the school are challenging.
In early years, we were not doing too well. When we had our first test, we bombed it. The results didn't come out what we wanted. Did that mean that our students couldn't learn or they didn't understand the content? No.
The answer to how to create great schools didn't lie within the education establishment, and we had to figure out where the right answers were and then how to implement them in a way that others could also recreate.
And I'll never forget, I had this conversation with Pat, and it was 2 options. One, could close the school or do something about it. And I said, listen, you have to fix it. You don't have a choice. Where are all these students going to go?
Finally, in year 3, Lenny Jones walked through the door, and it was clear to me from the beginning that she was going to be the leader that would make a difference.
So many people have wonderful language about what children should have in this world and what should happen in education and how schools should look and feel and be, but the fact that there's nothing backing that language up makes it just that empty language.
We began to see a dramatic change in the achievement of the kids. The results I've seen at Lane Lock from the time that I got here in its infancy to today are absolutely amazing. We have gone from being at the bottom of CPS to being in the top tier of schools in the area.
I think the biggest thing here at Lane Lock is what we do is we open doors for our students. We give them options, so whatever they want to do in life, and they're not held back by anything.
Lane Lock continued to thrive, becoming one of the most successful schools in Illinois, boasting impressive results, getting national recognition.
Then we thought, how can we have a greater impact than what we're having with just these 500 students?
The insights and dramatic results led to the formation of the Ryan Fellowship, an elite corps of urban principals uniquely equipped to create high-performing schools.
Most people opening schools didn't have the right formula and the right leadership to achieve the success we achieved in Lane Lock. Out of that, we started the fellowship to provide that critical, missing ingredient, great leader who can create the great school.
Making the investment in just one high-impact school leader can have a dramatic effect on 500 scholars. That impact is felt every year, changing the lives of 5,000 children over the course of a decade.
When I first started the Ryan Fellowship, I remember learning a lot just about building a culture and being intentional about what it means to build a culture across organizations. All that we talk about in terms of the principal being the CEO of the building, owning every piece and all of the work in the building, that was the biggest shift for me.
I had never really understood or known this concept of principal and CEO, and then having key results and metrics to measure student growth and having your team invested in it. For me, that's been like one of the most foundational things that has really helped to accelerate our achievement here.
There are a lot of people who don't believe that our boys are capable of what we know they are, and TS has led our school to results that have proven otherwise.
So some people say to me, how does this all fit together? The capabilities that Accelerate has built allow teachers to take their game to the next level, allow schools to take their academic programs to the next level, allow principals and leadership teams to take their game to the next level.
It has been no small undertaking, and there is still much work to be done.
We're opening new regions every year and getting into more and more communities. With our leaders, we can only affect one school at a time, one leader at a time. So in order for us to grow, we need to be able to support more and more leaders every single year.
One of the goals is to ensure that our students are globally competitive. They are able to go to high school, be successful, go to college and be successful, and be viable citizens and be able to operate in this world. Oftentimes I go to sleep wondering if I could have done more, if I've said enough, if I've done enough, if I've encouraged enough, if I've supported enough, did I offer enough hugs, did I give enough fist pounds that will make a difference in the life of some student.
We look at the headlines of the day, crime and other societal issues, and say, we know that if you give these kids a chance, they will amaze you. And we also know how to create great schools. We intend to use the capabilities we've built over the last 25 years and have as big an impact as we can in helping empower people to create those great schools that allow kids to amaze us and achieve their potential.